Hello and welcome back to another episode of the PVM focused Ultimate Ironman. In the last episode, we focused a lot on Slayer and we actually achieved one of the big drops that we were looking for with the face guard. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I hope you enjoy. So I figured I would get a quick clip of RuneLite HD that was released today. It is actually super good. I think it's even better than the pictures that were shown. The shadows and everything. I haven't even played around with a lot of the settings yet. But like, I don't know. It just feels so much more alive. Oh yeah. This is kind of crazy. I mean, it really feels like we're back in like the actual 2008, 2009 HD update for this game. Alright, we just finished the Slayer task, and I figured now that we're almost 93 is probably an okay time to unblock the Black Demons tasks that we have right here. I'm going to unblock those because I do want to do Demonics or a Zenite at some point, and we will see if we end up getting a task pretty soon. We will have to actually fix our inventory when we get one, but I don't really know if I'll end up going pretty dry for this, so I figured, might as well. So as you can see from my inventory, I did get 2 more whip drops already in this task, so I kind of decided to just use the Abyssal Tentacle for a little while. I was going to drop these, but honestly, they're only worth 1.9 mil each, about 2 mil. I don't really care for the GP. I don't have an alt account. I usually drop this over to anyone in the CC or just random people, but I actually figured it'd probably just be more useful to use the Tentacle Whip for Slayer or whatever until I finish off these 2, just because why not, I guess. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. But pretty funny, I actually got these almost back to back, like within maybe 5 kills. Also, I guess we just passed 80 million experience total, so I didn't really pay attention too much to this, but that's kind of cool. Well, in typical fashion, I have missed the level up message, but this is 93 Slayer, and this is actually a pretty big milestone as well. This is actually one of the first milestones we've had, I think, in a while. This is great because this unlocks the Occult Necklace. And actually, not only does it unlock the ability to get the Occult Necklace, it actually unlocks us the ability to get the Ancient Staff again, and the Ancient Staff will allow us to burst our magic. So with that being said, we're going to hopefully get Smoke Devils like relatively soon and hopefully be able to get both of those drops. The updates are getting a bit more spread out now. There's just a lot less for me to show. I'm really just doing task after task, getting a few drops here and there, like some Abyssal Whip drops, but really I'm not really recording actively right now. I'm kind of just playing this game in the background, unfortunately. Slayer is just really a casual skill, and I feel like it doesn't really offer a lot of progress updates at this point. Alright, this is our first Smoke Devils task, so this is cool. I think this is like the minimum you can get assigned. Not a big deal, this is cool. We're gonna see exactly how we're gonna do this task. This is going to be our setup. Pretty decent magic defense overall. Will hopefully help a little bit with the trips. We don't have a lot of food, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to teleport for food pretty often. Yeah, nothing is aggressive in here, so we can actually just come straight in and start the boss whenever. So, the Smoke Devil boss actually has attacks that cannot be prayed against, but it does attack with magic, and it attacks very fast. So, typically what people do is they attack and walk under, and that's probably what I'll be doing. I'm going to play around with it and how I kind of want to do this to make this as chill of a task as possible. First kill. And we got 15 Grimy Toadflax. So probably the first of many. This boss spawns very fast. Oh, baby. That is exactly what we wanted, to be honest. This is actually an incredibly important item for what we want to do next. And we got that. I believe the drop rate is 1 in 107 from Thermonuclear Smoke Devil. So that's really good. We got that early. I was actually more worried we'd probably go dry on this than the actual occult. That is an item to get. Not quite the item that I'm looking for, but that is cool for the collection log. I don't really know if there's any uses for this item that it makes it worth holding on an Ultimate Ironman. I'm gonna hold on to it for now, and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Well, that's pretty funny because we got an Ancient Staff again, and then we got a Smoke Battle Staff again. So now we have 2 of these. Well, one of them is definitely getting dropped to someone. I don't have an account that, wait, this gives a 10% accuracy and damage bonus for spells on the standard spellbook? That's pretty interesting. That's not normal for staffs, right? Like, if I inspect this staff? Yeah. Huh. That's strange. I did not know that. We just got an occult necklace and an elite clue on the same kill. I don't know what an elite clue drop is. There it is, 77 KC, and we actually finished Thermi. So I'm not going to finish the task. I'm just going to move on to what I'm going to do next, which is actually burst through the runes that I have. I don't know how far this is going to get me. But I do want to do this before I finish Slayer, just so I can have an idea of, how close I'll be. Maybe I'm going to get closer than I'm anticipating. The thing is, though, I'm also thinking that now that I have both of these, that I should burst my Slayer with the rest of my Slayer experience that I need. This will just be a great way to mix it up. I did melee all the way from 87 to 93, and while it has been fun, I think, honestly, I would rather probably finish up these last 2 levels as soon as possible now that I got the occult, and now that I'm ready to kind of move on to Hydra. Alright, so we are in the MM2 tunnels again, and we're going to be heading over to do bursting. And with that, I'm curious to see what the experience rates will be. I don't think it'll be that much different from the last time we did this. However, the last time we did do this, we were using the Amulet of the Damned with the Aram set to autocast, but now we have the Occult Necklace and the Ancient Staff. So, as far as I'm aware, the Aram set with the set effect is an effective 7.5% damage boost over time. It's a 30% like on certain casts, but overall it's a 7.5%, which is less than this. I don't think it's going to have any real noticeable effect in the experience rates per hour, but nonetheless, we're going to be using the occult this time. Alright, that is 94 magic achieved. Alright, that is 98 attack, which means we are 1 level away from being 99 attack. And that's awesome because that skill cape actually kind of is useful for an Ultimate Ironman, I think, because it allows you to drop your Dragon Defender more easily if you need to, and you can just automatically wear the cape and get inside and, fight the Cyclops whenever you need for another Dragon Defender. We just completed a Dust Devils task. As you can see, we bursted that. After doing a Dust Devils task, I did get a decent amount of Dust Runes. So with that, I actually am going to be dropping over the Dust Battle Staff. Well, that is kind of funny. We got another Dust Battle Staff. Not really expecting that again. This is, I believe, like a 1 in 3,000 or 1 in 4,000 drop from regular Dust Devils. Alright, well, now I just think I'm being trolled. I got another Dust Battle Staff. So I think the game is trying to tell me that I am not allowed to get rid of my Dust Battle Staff. Alright, this is the final kill for 94 Slayer. That's a pretty big level. That is the highest Slayer level I've ever been in the entirety of my time playing RuneScape in general, not just old school. And that is pretty cool because we're 1 level away. People always say that like the level before your goal or before 99 is always like the easiest level because, you have the motivation to finish it off. But honestly speaking, I'm so burnt out of Slayer, and this is 800k experience away. This is going to be a tough level. Alright, so I was actually just thinking about it for a little bit, and I don't know if it's really worth holding on to the Abyssal Tentacle. I just don't know if I am going to do Bandos in the near future. I was originally thinking I would camp Bandos for a while, at least until I use the Abyssal Tentacle up, but I think my plans are going to be a bit different. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the Lance, and then after getting the Lance, I will switch to Zulrah, I'll finish Zulrah, and then when I finish Zulrah, I'll finish Dragon Warhammer. Alright, this is going to be the final hit. 99 attack. We did it. Only one melee stat left to get to 99. And speaking of skill cape, I actually forgot to get the hit point skill cape. So we'll be doing that after this task is completed. We're almost done. Alright, so I think we talked to this guy. Actually, we need a hood too, so we talk to this guy and we say, can I buy the skill cape of attack, please? This is actually such a cool looking cape too. I did always like this color and everything, and the emote is honestly pretty good as well. I do like this. So I think I mentioned it before, but what the attack cape does now is it allows you to have unlimited tokens for getting the defenders. And this is actually kind of useful here and there on an Ultimate Ironman. This will be useful when I actually go to store my Slayer helmet, because I will need to get another Dragon Defender so I can still have mine on me and then still store those items. So we will be using this at some point. We don't need to right now, so we're going to go put it in the house. And then we're going to go get the hit point cape real quick as well. And we can buy the hit point skill cape. So let's see. And so for those that don't know, the skill cape basically has the prayer activated rapid heal at all times, so you are actually generating hit points twice as fast, which can be pretty useful for a lot of activities. However, it does not stack with the rapid heal prayer itself. It essentially acts as if the rapid heal prayer is activated already. So in order to get even further stacked hit points, you would need to have the regen bracelet with this cape equipped, and that's how you can have the maximum hit points regen. So this doesn't have a lot of uses. I mean, outside of saving prayer points, this is not going to make too big of a difference, but I figured we'd get it so we could store it in the house and just kind of have it there and start building the collection. Alright, still working on Slayer, but we did just make an Abyssal Tentacle again, so a fresh one. Our last one just degraded, so this means that we kind of freed up a few inventory spaces, and this should be perfect because I think by the time this tentacle whip is almost out or out already, we'll be hopefully very close to 95 Slayer. We're a little under halfway. I believe we're like at 40% or so, which means that that last tentacle whip I think lasted a little over probably 50% of a level. But yeah, that's perfect because that means we'll be right on time for when we finish up. And then if it ends up finishing early, which is totally okay, I will just be using the Zamihasta on defense to continue training defense. And we are almost at 96. And there it is. This is the final level we'll be getting on this account, I guess, purposefully at least. If we go really dry at Hydra, we may end up getting a few levels from that. Who knows, to be honest. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. I mean, it's really been the only thing I've been doing on this account for the last maybe 2 months or so. You know, pretty casually, not really tryharding it until probably the last 2 Slayer levels or so, because honestly was getting, you know, pretty tired of it being very slow, and barrage tasks are a lot faster. But I am glad to be done with this. And for me personally, I think this kind of starts to mark really the end of the account. And by the end of the account, I don't really mean like I'll stop playing it, but I really just mean that this unlocks pretty much everything that I really care about doing on the account, which is just PVM at the end of the day. This is going to allow us to get the Dragon Hunter Lance and really start to just, you know, dive into raids and some other PVM and just go from there and do whatever I feel like, which is awesome. It does feel pretty good to have it done. And yeah, I'm excited to try Hydra because I have never done Hydra on any account. This is actually the highest Slayer level I think I've ever been in RuneScape on an Ultimate Ironman nonetheless.